Hey, did you know that HIE is considered a rare disease? February is Rare Disease Month, and Rare Disease Day is coming up on February 28th or 29th. If it's a leap year, then it's on the 29th. And I think this is really important information for especially researchers and our academic partners and clinical partners to know, because a lot of times there's a lot of confusion. And according to the FDA and other regulatory agencies, HIE is considered rare. This means that you can unlock a lot of the rare disease programming available for research in both the academic research side and the therapeutic advancement side that maybe was untapped before. Especially for our families, I think, when you're looking for community and things and you see all these rare families that are connecting online, we obviously have a huge community of 12,000 families connecting, but we have a lot of things I think people come up with. Rare is very ubiquitous with genetic, and HIE is one of the structural diagnoses. There's others as well, like cortical dysplasia and other, congenital malformations and other structural things like stroke. They're all small. So you can see this is something that we, as a advocacy ecosystem, are moving forward to make sure that messaging is there, because that allows us, again, to take advantage of a lot of the programs that exist in rare disease and apply them to HIE. So I was an invited speaker at the ADEPT workshop, which was hosted by the FDA's neonatology and rare disease parts of the agency, to talk through and participate in this workshop, because HIE is such a focus area and has so many people in the pipeline that are hoping to move things forward that are promising. For our community, we currently have one indication for something, which is therapeutic hypothermia. It's resource dependent. It doesn't work everywhere. And we're looking at so many other potential therapeutics that could work in lower resource settings, can be administered outside of that 6-hour window to potentially make a difference. And these things need to have a clear pathway through the regulatory agencies like the FDA, the EMA, Health Canada, all the regulatory agencies in the world. And our community is due to have more effective therapeutics to improve the outcomes for our kids in the neonatal period and beyond. So it never gets old to me going to these events to see HIE on the big screen and being talked about at a national and international level. We have so much that we've done in the past 6 years, almost 7 years, in the research and advocacy side. It's being recognized, and it's because our community comes together and talks about the unmet needs, their experiences in research, how we can do it better, how we can work with researchers to move things forward, so it's not another 10 years until we have something in babies and families and things to help. I do want to mention this slide that they presented, which is why clinical trials fail greater than 75% of the time. We see this in rare, and you'll hear how awful it is to see things hit the cutting room floor. And most of the time, it's because of recruitment and retention. So this is where our families can come in. And if you're new to the community, or you find yourself new to the community and see that you've been asked to participate in a clinical trial, you've enrolled your child in a clinical trial, we can talk about the absolute importance of recruitment and retention. So recruitment, we have brought the experiences of our community. Many of you have participated in focus groups and surveys that really are making an impact on developing better trials with better recruitment rates, because we are bringing what works for our community to those trials with you that have participated in these trials, and what hasn't gone well, making sure we're planning and supporting these trials appropriately. The second part of that is retention, staying in the trial until completion. This is one that, is always a challenge in neonatal trials. Upwards of 66% of neonatal trials have attrition rates that are really bad, meaning people drop out of the trials. If we don't have the data, it will not move forward, no matter how amazing the therapeutic could be. You need to have the data and the science and the rigor behind it in order to move something forward. The agencies will not do that because they are protecting babies, understandably, and protecting people, and want to make sure that they are approving things that actually make a difference to the population. So we are here to help families through clinical trials. If you're coming up with roadblocks, if you want to talk to someone that's been through a clinical trial and you're thinking about opting out, please, let's talk. Reach out to Elsa Moyes. She's our program coordinator and our peer support lead for clinical trials. We want to make sure that you feel supported to stay and have the resources you need to stay in these trials that you enroll your families into. So there was just a ton of energy coming out of this. I'm so excited. I was able to take this energy into the next conference that we were at and represented, and I'll do another video about that. But it is a different era. We, as an advocacy organization, our sweet spot is relationship building, bringing people around a common table. It's why we have co-founded the Neonatal Brain Injury Collaborative through the International Neonatal Consortium. It's to bring together the right stakeholders to clear a cleaner pathway for promising therapeutics, devices, interventions to go through the pipeline. So that way we don't have to wait 10, 15, 20 years for another something that will help our community.